Well, Apple, of course, has done very well, and of course, I'm a very proud former board member of Apple. And their model works very well with some limitations in terms of you only have one source of your hardware supplier, that kind of thing. We chose an alternate model. Our model was that we would allow much more to come in. We would be much looser, if you will, and people would report if there were problems. This leads to the situation where Apple, for example, has to essentially pre-approve your app, whereas in our case, the app can show up, and unless it violates our various and well-documented guidelines, you can leave it up. We prefer the latter model, which is more open. Right, that's called prevention of choice. Consumers should want choices. I don't mind if you actually prefer the other guy's product. I'd like you to evaluate mine fairly and make an appropriate decision as a consumer. It's called competition.
Right. Where do you detect a risk of device chop, where the consumer has a hard time saying, I don't know which Samsung device I want. Maybe I could be distracted by that confusion. Isn't there a risk to that?
I think it's a case of choice. And I think consumers want more than a couple choices. Right? And you look at it in the car industry, you look at it in the electronics industry, you look at it in the clothing industry. People want choices. And there's many choices that exist out there. It's our job to be able to articulate the applications and be able to communicate to the consumer relative to their needs. I want a device, maybe, that is a phone and truly is a tablet, and let's create something new. So we just created and seen the growth in the tablet industry, right? Which morphed as in between a tablet or a smartphone and a PC. Now we've introduced something that's actually in between a tablet and the smartphone. And it's about choice and how many different devices do I want to use and when do I want to use those devices. And that's where a product like this fits in.